Just trust yourself, then you will know how to live. Once upon a time, in the Grand Empire of Austria-Hungary, there lived an archduke named Franz Ferdinand. He was next in line to the throne, a symbol of power and duty. But behind the scenes of royal splendor, he carried a secret that would defy tradition, divide an empire, and lead to one of history's most romantic yet tragic tales. The scene transitions to Franz Ferdinand, a serious-looking man with a military uniform at a grand ball. He looks out over the crowd, clearly disinterested in the pomp and formality. It was at one such royal gathering that Franz met her, Sophie, a lady of honor in the court. Sophie wasn't born into nobility, but her kindness, intelligence, and strength captured the heart of the archduke. The scene shows Franz noticing Sophie from across the ballroom. She's laughing, her warm eyes meeting his briefly. They both smile. The music softens as they approach each other and start to dance. Franz and Sophie fell deeply in love, but in the world of royalty, love wasn't enough. Sophie didn't have the right title, and their relationship was considered a scandal by the empire's strict royal court. Despite the opposition, Franz and Sophie's love grew stronger. Franz stood against tradition, even challenging Emperor Franz Joseph, his own uncle, to gain approval for their marriage. The scene shows Franz passionately defending his love for Sophie to a group of elderly nobles. The emperor, stern-faced, finally agrees, but with conditions. Finally, permission was granted, but with one condition: their marriage would be morganatic. Sophie could never be empress, and their children would never inherit the throne. The scene transitions to a beautiful wedding, where Franz and Sophie exchange vows in a small private ceremony. Although there's happiness in their eyes, there's also a touch of sadness. Although their love was strong, their lives were far from fairy tale perfect. Franz and Sophie were often shunned by the royal family and excluded from events. Yet, they created a peaceful life together, with their 3 children, away from the palace intrigues. The scene shows Franz, Sophie, and their children laughing together on the grounds of their estate, away from the watchful eyes of the court. For years, they lived in quiet happiness, finding joy in simple moments. But the looming shadow of political tension across Europe was about to change everything. In 1914, Franz and Sophie travelled to Sarajevo, a city filled with tension. Although they were on an official visit, Franz insisted on bringing Sophie along, as it was their wedding anniversary, a rare chance to spend time together. The scene shows the couple driving through the streets of Sarajevo in an open-top car, waving at the crowds. Suddenly, the tone shifts as the narrator continues. But this visit would turn tragic. In a moment that shocked the world, the Archduke and his beloved Sophie were both assassinated. Their love story ended on a single, fateful day. The screen fades to black, then shows mourners in the streets with a somber melody in the background. Though Franz and Sophie's love story ended in heartbreak, it changed the world forever. Their deaths triggered a series of events that would lead to the First World War, a conflict that reshaped history. The scene transitions to images of war-torn landscapes, then fades back to a portrait of Franz and Sophie together. But amid the chaos and tragedy, their story endures. A tale of love that defied tradition, one that reminds us of the power of love to inspire, even in the darkest times. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story of love and history, be sure to subscribe for more tales of passion, power, and romance from history's most unforgettable characters.